Hi guys, it is time for my monthly. Basically, is your ex coming back? It is usually due end of the first week each month. So this is our November and the first week of December. These are actually the cards from a different deck. I actually do have exactly the same cards in this deck, and I have developed the spread that I called Cat Tarot Knows or X spread, but it also can apply to actually current on and off relationships and sometimes tricky relationships. When I do the private reading, if you're in a relationship, I kind of like use this King of Wands versus Knight of Wands, and I use generic Queen of Wands and Knight of Wands for a reason. So I'm going to spend just a minute to explain this category. So don't start telling me, oh, you're having the same in the same video. Yes, I actually do, because these are just titles of the book that I want to figure out for each sign what's happening this particular month. So the very first category, the Magician. The Magician is the creator, right? This category number one is a starter category. Is this relationship a starter? You know that maybe you want it, but sometimes just circumstances or people are against us. Maybe, we live in different cities. Maybe, temptation is just too much. Maybe family is against it. Maybe we just never find time to see each other. So this is all going to show up in this category. So even if this says you guys are good to go and you will have a happy relationship, if you don't see each other, it just simply kind of like fade away. So this is kind of relationship this is kind of category that's going to explore that. Then I have here Temperance reversed, and it's purposely reversed because in the upright position, Temperance is talking about patience, and for every relationship we need patience, even though they are selling us and they fell in love and that kind of stuff. Okay, let me be a little bit skeptical about that, right? It happens to all of us. We all crave that, but we do know that something that kind of like turns into flame really quickly also really quickly kind of like fades away. So Temperance talks about merging two very different liquids together, talks about alchemists, talks about seeing this vision for these two people creating their own kingdom, right? The angel. Now, when Temperance is reversed, something is not gelling. Something is not right. Either it's not the right person, or it's not the right time, or it's not the right place, or just not the right circumstances. So these two categories, as you can see, are very important and they are circumstantial. Then it's going to be about you and about your partner, whether you are in a relationship or not. Even though Queen of Wands generally talks about fire signs and King of Wands talk about fire signs, in this particular readings, I am just dedicating this to be you. Why? Because if we have any issues in a relationship, we always have to take few steps back. Sometimes all the way back to dating. Sometimes kind of like really figuring out, okay, so what do I want to do and how do I really want to, seduce this person all over again. I want him to see me with fresh eyes, or I want her to see me as powerful and important. So hence, we kind of take on this role of Queen of Wands for ladies, or role of Knight of Wands, or King of Wands for gentlemen. So King of Wands is slower than Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is the one who will chase you and eventually is going to settle in for King of Wands. So that's kind of the difference. And Eight of Wands is generally love arrows and communication and the energy card, right? It goes literally, you can see the arrows of love flying in this direction. So I really want to see what's happening here. Is this combination proper? Because sometimes we read into things that other persons say and we create our own reality, or maybe this reality doesn't exist. So it's just going to here tell me in this category what the partner thinks about you or what she thinks about you. And here, kind of like how is this communication flowing, if at all. Now this is my karma card. I have 4 karma cards. The karmic cards that I designate as karmic cards are Judgment, Justice, Ace of Swords, and Wheel of Fortune. There is a reason for all of them. In this particular card, it's kind of really important for me to see kind of like the emotions from the past that are currently kind of like being looked upon. So this is simply just, again, if you're getting blessings in this relationship, if things from the above looked upon kind of like are favorable, it's kind of like it's not really your will, but it is something that basically depends on kind of like really higher level of thinking. And this card, for Wands, which is my relationship, next level, long term, going to the next stage card, is going to tell me about the quality of your relationship. So this is kind of in short description. So hopefully you listen through it, because now I'm going to just jump in and I'm going to just roll out the cards and we can go with that. Okay, so talk to you soon. Hi Aries, thanks for being here. So let's jump in your reading. Just before I start, let me preface, this is a general reading, lots of people, lots of emotions, lots of situations, which could be yours, doesn't have to be yours. And yeah, just take as much as little as kind of like relates to you. And for your really direct energy and your direct private reading, please contact me at cattarot.ca. So let's just jump in. So let's see first your toolbox. Wow, who had it? Who had it? Aquarians had it, didn't I? I don't know. Somebody had exactly the same thing. So something, you want to move to the next level, and it either didn't or didn't feel right, and it felt like I can create it, but do I really want it? And it kind of got stalled. So let's see what needs to be glued here. Wow, the Chariot. So the Chariot talks about morality. Chariot talks about doing the right thing, believing in the right thing, fighting yourself and becoming the better person, about delayed gratification, knowing that you are going to get somewhere one day. But Chariot also talks about being overly critical of others and of yourself, and thinking in terms of black and white. It either has to be this way or that way, not understanding that the life really happens somewhere in the middle. So Chariot is also the card of independence and the speed, but when it is reversed, things get stuck. So here something kind of like didn't lift off, and I'm looking here in the first 10 days from when you're reading this, or I don't know, from the 5th to the 15th, if you're like seeing this the moment has been released. Oh my gosh, you have another 7. So you're seen as like a dreamer. You're seen as like, oh, there are so many possibilities that you can do. But you also see as a person who, hey, do you really know what you want? Because sure, it's nice to be a kid in a candy store, but like try to kind of like narrow your options down and let's go with 1, 2, or 3 of them, right? So let's see the communication. Ooh, the Temperance reversed. Something is amiss. Either the right person is not there, or it is the wrong time, it's the wrong place, or somebody's messing up. Communication might not be there, or might be very inadequate. Let's see about the other person. The other person kind of gave up. The other person looks like was fighting for you, and has been quite scratched in a battle. Wounds are there. And the person finally said, I cannot do this anymore. I kind of have no passion. I just don't have energy anymore, never mind passion. So this is what happened. It kind of looks like you're going, and just before the finishing, just something happened. So let's see the Judgment. Oh, another 7. Standing your ground. You're kind of like very angry with somebody, and look, you're really protecting your heart here, saying, all these things here that happen, and I know better. I need to kind of protect myself. So I would say you are really dealing with lots of flashbacks here. I would say this is kind of dealing with your own demons the very first 10 days and trying to see what went wrong, what couldn't be glued, why certain people give up on you, why certain things don't take off and everything seems to be going right. And the quality of relationship are nice and sweet memories. Kind of thinking about somebody, still having these butterflies in the stomach, because this is kind of like the only cup with you coming twice, and maybe still exploring and seeing the possibility with this person. So let's see the second 10 days. Somebody didn't want to commit here, guys. Somebody kind of was playing this perpetual kind of like player kind of routine over here. Maybe there was a third person, and hence this card of morality came here as well, because sevens are single. Somebody really was maybe saying I don't want to be single, but they are just single, and somebody's not learning the lesson here. This is a big warning. The Hangman is okay when it's this way. It says, okay, you're stuck, you're not doing much, maybe there's no communication here. Some communication could be happening, but there is like a failure of learning this lesson, and it's kind of like running in the wall. Somebody saying I don't want to be with you, or you're saying somebody I don't want to be with you, and it is okay, where do we go for lunch? Kind of like complete kind of like passing by you. And you know what, guys, you feel like violated. You feel like justice haven't been served. You feel justice talks about balance. Temperance talk about balance and patience. You have jumped the gun on something and have been very impatient over something, and maybe even aggressive about that, or your partner, one of you, somebody, right? And you felt you got the short end of the stick here. This card is a karma card, one of my 4 karma cards, and it's saying, you know what, when you're in this situation, it's so easy to lash out. We all have been there, right? So it's saying, try not to. Try to see if you don't take justice in your hands and just like observe, as this is telling you you need to learn this lesson. So just remember, if somebody comes to you, or if you're falling into this, I don't want to commit with somebody, or somebody's telling you I don't want to commit with you, just don't react. Just shrug your shoulders and just wait for this to pass. Because justice is saying that, yeah, you got kind of short end of the stick, but if you go with this knee-jerk reaction, you're really going to get with that stick in front of, because this is like karma wants you to show that you have learned this lesson. So you're tested. Communication, oh my gosh, there was a third person over here. Or gossip. And your partner is actually looks like, and you're maybe resenting this, kind of like feeling self-indulgent and self-happy and kind of like maybe having a good time on their own. And you're saying like, I want to be with you and there's so many potentials, why not me, right? But they're saying, look, you are getting all distracted with all these possibilities. You want this and that and that. So instead of me waiting, I can as well have fun of myself. So I see this is something where maybe you feel, so you have to understand there's a timeline. So I think this is what the temperance came here reversed. It was something about a timeline over here, guys. This also could mean legal issues over here. Could actually even mean divorce. And somebody's stuck. These are thoughts. Kind of like the same things over and over and over, and feeling victim and feeling other people are coming at you from all the sides. You need to take off the blindfold and look at it, that no matter what, look, where was this fighting? So what happened to that? Right for fighting you went, ugh, I bet you're going back and forth from giving up to fighting to, oh, I'm stuck right now. And there is this death card. Yikes. Something has to die. Something is finally declared over. Something is declared, look, it just cannot continue the way it continued, because we were just two riders on different horses and going in two different directions. Look at this, the sphinxes are not going forward. Each of them have their own mind. They're going in different directions, and that's what happened. In this case, it was just a mess. Other people, possibly legalities, not learning a lesson, one person doesn't want to commit, not the right timing, other people messing in, somebody not responding, not doing, oh my God, people, just erase this person. But for just like, your sake, I'm going to do this last 10 days, 25th to the 7th. So let's see. So this is saying, okay, guys, you really have to kind of like go from the scratch if you ever want to consider it. Build things on a friendship base. Yeah, this anxiety and killing yourself and what if it happened there, it's not going anywhere. This is that what they call it, wash machine brain. You just keep thinking the same thoughts over and over again, crying. Well, get melatonin, get chamomile tea, and get good night's sleep. That's going to help more than anything, because good night's sleep heals. And I think the healing is needed for everybody over here. And look at that. You might exactly take my advice, because here it is, concentration and dedication to the family and family events. This can also mean Thanksgiving for people in the States, and for the rest of us, kind of like means just maybe gathering, realizing our may kind of, getting any younger, and also questions, where do you really want to go? So sort of like, you see, it's going to be lots of pragmatic kind of aspects over here. So hence, maybe that's what's going to lift off this anxiety and this depression. It's still hard to accept that somebody was juggling, because looks like this is the thread in between. How could you do that to me? The other person, yeah, it was some kind of divorce, guys. Are you guys going through divorce? Because the other person doesn't really want to stay there. They are kind of checking out. You might be the one with the second person though too, because this morality issues, you are asking yourself questions. You are not learning this. And yeah, you see, this was saying build a friendship, and then karma saying, guys, you're not going to be able to succeed. This was an opportunity that you're going to fail to realize. Even here was telling, as I said, don't go further. And hence, guess what? There is this closure. This card again, the 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. So this is saying sneaky, cheating, thieving behavior, somebody grabbing whatever they can. But you guys reversed. It means you have to see in yourself how you contributed to this relationship. How are you seen? Because nobody's 100% right, another person 100% wrong. Even if you're only 1% wrong, I want you to look into this. And also, this is going to be aha moment. It's going to be, ooh, I get it. It just cannot continue with this person. And guess why? Because there were some kind of like very pragmatic issues. Look at this. Earth, 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 earth. These are all earth, which you are like fire. And these are air. And you are like in between. So what's happening here? Something just didn't ground. You need to ground something to move forward. Somebody, maybe you were guided by the wrong advice. Maybe you promised friendship to someone, or somebody promised friendship to you, and hence it turned out that somebody was a player. All together, all the puzzles were finally come to and say, oh gosh, this is what it is. I finally get it. This is my card of closure. This is my card of saying I'm sorry. This is a card of saying, oh, I get it. And this is a card of explanation. So any of that can happen. But the best part is like, it's that one day this is a 9. It's the final stage of pinning for the loved one, feeling sorry for yourself, for the situation, wish to help yourself and everybody else. And then you just wake up and you just get it. And all of a sudden, the pressure is gone. So Aries, I really hope the kind of closure is being met this month. And as I said, this is just general reading. To get yours, please contact me at www.cattarot.ca. Till the next time, love you.